Oh, hello. Thank you for stopping in this afternoon. So, see this piece here? I really struggled with it. I did. I have. So I saw this ad for a competition in Twin Falls area, or Idaho, um, and it's one of those things where you pay to enter, and then there's a big competition, jury selection, and there's a big competition, and then you can win, prize money and stuff like that. And I thought, well, you know what? Maybe it'd be nice to enter. And then I was sitting there thinking, but I don't. To win in Idaho, it's got to be some kind of nature scene. It's got to be like horses or cows or mountain lions, or it's got to be some beautiful vista, sunset, or it's got to be. And that's not really my painting style. That's not really what I do anymore. I've done some stuff like that, but not anymore. And I looked at past winners and stuff, and some of it might be a little on the edge, a little loose, but most of it's just very painterly, very clean. And so I was sitting there thinking, well, it would really probably be just a waste of money to enter. It might be some exposure. It might be good to get my name out there a little bit, but mostly it's just going to be a waste of my time. And so I was sitting there thinking, well, if I did enter a piece, what would it be? What would be this piece I would enter? What would it entail? So I started thinking about it, and this is the piece. And then I just had this vision, just popped into my head, and I said, no, I could do a piece. I could do a piece with my style. I could do a piece that's still a landscape, because I still enjoy doing landscapes. But it would be distinctly my style. It would be distinctly what I do. And I would enter it, and, it wouldn't be so much to try to win or anything like that. I wouldn't enter the upper tier competitions, the juried stuff. I would just enter the popular vote kind of stuff. So I had this vision of this piece, and it popped into my head. And so here I'm going to just kind of scan this piece so you can take a look at it. This is not complete at all. So I'll back up a little bit so you can kind of see it all. So this is not a complete piece at all. It's still in works. And let me tell you what happened with this piece. And I'm not going to enter it in the competition. I've decided not to do that. And I can get into those reasons another time. So I started painting this piece. And when I first had the vision, I was like, I've got it. And I just started going. And I started putting colors down and blocking in and started doing all the stuff I do. And then I picked up a brush and I started painting. And as soon as I did that, I reverted to an older style in which I used to paint. And I just took time, and it was just taking up a lot of my time, and it wasn't progressing. And as I was attempting to paint this, I became very frustrated. And that's not atypical for one of my paintings. I usually get to a point where I get frustrated with the piece and have to put it aside. But this was a little bit different. I was frustrated with myself. I wasn't frustrated with how the piece was developing. I was frustrated with myself because I was reverting back into old habits, into old patterns of painting, and I wasn't using the new language of what I'd been exploring over this last year or so, last maybe 16 months. But that's the vision I had for it. That's what I saw. But I wanted to go ahead and try to make a piece. I was reverting back to this painterly style where I could enter in the competition and maybe win. And I was like, no, that's not. I don't want to paint for that reason, and I don't want to paint in that style because I am trying to expand. I'm trying to evolve. I'm trying to express differently today than I have in the past. And I became very, very frustrated with myself. And the more I worked on the piece, the more frustrated I became with the piece, and I wasn't doing what I wanted to be doing. I wasn't accomplishing what I was hoping to be accomplishing, and I was just not very happy at all. So I put the piece aside. I was like, you know what? I need to be done with this for a while. So I put it aside, and I worked on a couple of other projects, and it just sat there in the back, kind of off on the side, and I glance at it every once in a while. But basically, I would just try to leave it alone and ignore it, and just be like, I don't even want to look at it right now. It's not something I even want to have anything to do with at this point. So eventually, though, I was like, I need to get it done. I need to get it out of my mind and off my hair, out of my hair, and and I need to get it completed, and I just need to figure out what my block is and work my way through it. So I put it back up here on my easel, and it sat up here for a couple of days, and I looked at it. And I looked at it, and I looked at it, and I realized what happened, and I realized what was stopping me from progressing on this piece. And I wasn't allowing myself to be the artist that I am. I wasn't allowing myself to express myself on the canvas in the manner in which I needed to. I was restricting myself. I was reining myself in. I was pulling myself back. I was reverting back into old ways in which I used to paint. And as an artist, that can be detrimental, because it's going to prevent your progress. It's going to prevent you from continuing to develop in your own style. And so part of that fear was I knew I could produce a landscape using a certain technique. I knew I can do that, but that's not what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was produce a landscape using my new language, my new art language that I have been developing. And I was afraid to do it. And it was that fear that stopped me. I have this great little book called Art and Fear. It's a nice little read. It addresses how fear prevents us from progressing as artists, how fear holds us back. And if we give into that fear, we're never going to mature. We're never going to continue to grow. And when I use the word mature, I don't mean like we're going to get to some age and stop. No, to me, mature is always continuing to perfect ourselves, always continuing to grow and to expand and to have new experiences and bring that to the canvas and portray it on the canvas. I'm just going to keep moving this around so you guys can get some other views of it. And so I had a fear that I was going to ruin the piece, that I wouldn't be able to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish, that I wouldn't be able to amount to being the artist I was hoping to be. And so I stopped. And if I give into that fear, I'm never going to progress. This canvas is always going to sit here, and every canvas is always going to sit here. I did this one. I'm going to show you this one. This is a little oil I did, impromptu. And with this one, I probably accomplished it in about 45 minutes. And I didn't have any preconceived ideas of what I was trying to accomplish. I had a little bit of a vision of what I wanted to do, and then I just allowed myself to be free and to do it and to just work it and to keep going. But when I approached this one, I couldn't do the same thing. The very first day I worked on it, I did. I was free and I just flowed. And then after that, I started painting. And then as I painted, I wanted certain shades and certain shapes and certain textures and then all of that stopped me from making the piece I wanted to make. I became too concerned about all of these other aspects of painting and not about expressing. And that's really where I'm at right now, is I want to be able to just express. And so finally I was sitting here looking at this piece and I'm like, I know exactly what I need to do. First of all, I need to not fear ruining the piece. It's going to be what it's going to be, and I need to let it progress. And I need to let myself progress. And this is how I need to do it. And so I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it and see what happens. And as soon as I started doing that, as soon as I started using my new expressive style, I started enjoying the piece, and I started enjoying myself, and I started to love to paint on this again. And now it's progressing greatly, and there's all kinds of nice, cool little features in it that I like. I got some nice little lines down here, and I've got this nice river. I'm still working on some scenes over here with some. And this is supposed to be, well, it's not supposed to be. This is an aerial view of a river running through Idaho. So you've got over here, you've got swaths of farmland, and then over here you've got mountains and trees and some kind of desert area, and you've got this big river running right through it all. So there's going to be, in here there's going to be like a little town, some little outbuildings over here, some barns, kind of just little farm community spread out over here. Over here I think I'm going to make a little boat launch area, so you can come down here with your rafts and raft down, and down here is going to be a little bridge I'm going to put in. So there's still a lot of work to be done on this piece, and some of it's going to have to be a little bit more detailed. But being able to let go and stop trying to paint the piece and then just paint, you know. And sometimes we get wrapped up in that. We start thinking about what we want the finished product to look like, which, you know, we have to keep that in mind sometimes. But we also have to allow ourselves the freedom to be the artist that we are and to express that on canvas the way in which we express it on canvas. And if there's older ways in which we've done that, they might have served their time, served a purpose during that time, and when that time's over, then it's time to progress on to the next style. And maybe you will find a style that you'll always be comfortable with, and you'll stay within a certain bounds, and sometimes you'll be over here, and sometimes you'll be over here within that framework. But as an artist, and you want to approach the canvas, and you feel those blocks, you have to work your way down. What is that block? Where is it coming from? Why can't I progress in this? What's happening? You know, and as you work through those questions, some of it is just a creative block, and sometimes you have to go do something else for a while, and you have to go draw, or you have to go sculpt, or you need to go just play, you know, or just get away from the studio altogether, or go listen to music, or, you know, whatever it is to work through that creative block until you can come back. Sometimes it's introspective. Sometimes you have to look within and say, what is holding me back from this piece? What is it? Me? Is it the painting? Is it the composition? Is it the colors? What is it that's not working? And then as you work through those questions, you're able to progress into the painting deeper, and you're able to progress into yourself as an artist deeper, and you're able to ask those deeper questions and explore that artistic language that you've been developing over your lifetime. And as you learn a new language, a new creative language, a new artistic language, there's a learning curve, you know, and sometimes it's easier just to like go, ugh, it's too hard, I don't want to make it over this learning curve, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And other times it's exciting to get up over that learning curve, and then you're like, oh, I've got it, I'm getting better, I'm getting proficient at it, and it's developing, and it's making it so much better, you know. So for me in this piece, I've learned a lot about myself working on this piece. This is the biggest canvas that I've done trying to incorporate this new style and keep it representational in some form. It's very loosely representational, you know. Maybe it has to be explained, or maybe it comes to you as you can see it. I don't know. We'll find out when I show it. Hopefully I will show it soon, in a week or two. I have a show coming up, and this is hopefully one of the ones I will have done for it. Well, this one will be done for it, so I will be showing it at that show. Not hopefully, I will be. It will be on display. And maybe 2 others. I've got 2 other canvases this side. I was thinking about knocking out 3 big pieces. 2 weeks. Finish this one. Get on to the other ones. I'll let you know how it goes. So, keep painting. Thank you for stopping in. I'm glad you're here. And don't let the blocks get you down. Just push your way through in one way or another. Find your way around. Sometimes you got to knock the wall down. Sometimes you got to go around it or under it or over it. So, but you can do it. So I'm going to get back to this piece because I need to get it done for a show. Thank you very much. Have yourself a great day. Are you still here? What are you still doing here? Go on. I got work to do.